What happened to Larry Mandel from TV's Leave It to Beaver is truly heartbreaking. Many decades have passed since Leave It to Beaver last aired, yet its characters are still remembered by generations of viewers. Among the young cast members who brought the town of Mayfield to life, Rusty Stevens' role as Larry Mandel left a lasting impression. His playful behavior and constant troublemaking made Larry one of the show's most recognizable kids. Over time, however, Larry Mandel slowly disappeared from television and public memory. Viewers have long wondered why the character vanished and what became of Rusty Stevens after leaving the show. Let's take a closer look at what really happened.
Larry, how come you eat your cake first?
If I eat the sandwiches first, I might not have room for the cake.
But I got $3.60.
That's because I make and believe mine are quarters. A fellow once called me up and asked me what my sister looked like.
Did you tell him?
No! She was sitting right there.
Larry Mandel was introduced as Theodore Beaver Cleaver's closest friend. The two were rarely seen apart, and their adventures often led them into trouble. Larry was chubby, not very bright, but hard to dislike. He was well known around Mayfield for his love of apples and candy bars. More often than not, Larry was the one who pulled Beaver into schemes that ended badly for both of them. Life at home was not easy for Larry. His mother, Margaret Mandel, played by Monsieur Blake, was often anxious and overwhelmed. She struggled to control Larry's behavior, especially since her husband was usually away on business. Larry's father was rarely present, leaving Mrs. Mandel to handle everything on her own. The phrase, "if your father were home," became something she repeated often whenever Larry got into trouble. Larry's actions frequently caused problems, despite his mother's efforts to discipline him. At times, Mrs. Mandel even turned to Beaver's father for help, hoping he could talk some sense into her son. Beaver's father, known for his calm and thoughtful approach, tried his best to guide Larry when needed. Larry came from a crowded household with older siblings. He had a married brother who was never seen, and whose name was never revealed. There was also an 18-year-old sister who still lived at home. Larry described her as unattractive, and she was never shown on screen. One of Larry's poor decisions involved reading his sister's diary with Beaver, which led to serious consequences for both boys. At one point, the show briefly mentioned that Larry had a younger brother. This was revealed only once, in the 1958 episode Beaver and Henry. After that, the younger brother was never mentioned again and never appeared, leaving viewers confused about his existence. Other characters in Mayfield hinted that Larry's home life was loud and stressful, with frequent yelling and physical punishment. This environment likely played a role in Larry's constant need to escape through mischief and adventures with Beaver. Even with all the trouble that seemed to follow him, Larry remained an important part of the show's charm, showing how friendship and childhood mistakes often go hand in hand. Larry Mandel and Beaver Cleaver shared a friendship that had its ups and downs. They argued often, as childhood friends do, but always managed to forgive each other and move on. The two attended Grant Avenue Grammar School together, where they faced everyday school challenges side by side. Their weekends included something neither of them enjoyed: ballroom dance lessons at Miss Spencer's School of Dance. Watching two awkward boys struggle through dance steps became a source of humor on the show. One notable moment occurred when Larry mocked Beaver at school. Larry teased him for wearing what he claimed were girls' stockings and made fun of Beaver's formal short pantsuit with knee socks. The teasing went too far, and Beaver finally snapped, punching Larry in the stomach. In another episode, Larry decided to run away from home. His escape, however, didn't go very far. Instead of leaving town, he hid in Beaver's bathroom and slept in the bathtub. Larry's behavior often crossed the line into absurd territory. One of his most well-known stunts involved throwing his mother's pin money out the window. Later, he picked it up and claimed it had fallen from an airplane. His excuses were just as imaginative as his actions. Eventually, Larry Mandel disappeared from Mayfield when Rusty Stevens left the show. His exit was tied to a major decision made by his family. Earlier reports stated that Rusty's departure was caused by his father accepting a new job outside California. This required the family to move from Burbank to Philadelphia. The relocation made it impossible for Rusty to continue working on the series. Because of this move to the East Coast, Rusty Stevens had to leave It to Beaver, bringing his time as Larry Mandel to an end. The change marked a turning point in his life and effectively ended his acting career on the show. However, actress Barbara Billingsley later shared a different version of events. According to her, Larry's character was written out because of problems caused by Rusty's mother, who was heavily involved in managing his career. This interference reportedly created tension with the show's producers, leading to Larry's quiet removal from the series. Who was Rusty Stevens? Rusty Stevens is best remembered as the actor who played Larry Mandel on the original Leave It to Beaver, which aired from 1957 to 1960. He appeared in 68 of the show's 234 episodes and became well known for playing Larry, a character known for his troublemaking ways and comic moments. His performance made him popular with viewers and helped turn him into a familiar face in American homes during the show's early years. Fans liked Larry because he felt real and relatable. Rusty's timing and playful behavior helped make the character memorable, and many viewers connected with him right away. His work on the show helped shape its early success and left a lasting impression on those who watched it during its original run. Despite that success, Rusty's time on Leave It to Beaver ended sooner than expected. In the middle of the fourth season, he suddenly left the show. His exit surprised fans and raised many questions. People wondered why a young actor, doing well and gaining attention, would walk away from such a popular role. Over the years, many rumors and incorrect stories circulated about his departure. The real reason was never clearly explained at the time, which only added to the confusion. His decision to leave at the peak of his popularity remained a topic of discussion long after he disappeared from television. Then, in the 1980s, something unexpected happened. Rusty's past resurfaced in a way he never saw coming. By that time, he was living a quiet life and had never told his wife that he had once been a child actor on a major TV show. His earlier career was something he had completely kept to himself. CBS decided to bring back Leave It to Beaver with a sequel series. As part of that plan, they wanted to locate Rusty Stevens and reconnect him with the cast. A private investigator was hired to track him down, and when the investigator showed up, it led to an awkward and confusing moment at Rusty's home. The detective insisted they had found the right person. Rusty's wife, having no idea about his past on television, believed there had been a mistake. From her point of view, it sounded impossible. The situation played out like a scene from a sitcom, where truth and confusion collided in an unexpected way. Rusty's life had already taken many turns by then. In 1969, during the Vietnam War, he joined the U.S. Army and trained in armored operations. While many men his age were sent to fight in Vietnam, Rusty was never deployed there. Instead, he was stationed in West Germany at Daly Barracks. He served as part of a border guard unit in Bad Kissingen. His time there was far removed from Hollywood. It was a completely different experience from life on a TV set, and it marked a new chapter in his life. Rusty Stevens was born Russell Rusty Stevens on November 25, 1948, in Boston, Massachusetts. He grew up in a supportive home, raised by parents who looked after him closely during his early years. As a child, he attended school like anyone else and spent his spare time selling newspapers. Although his upbringing was ordinary, Rusty had a strong interest in movies and TV westerns. He often acted out scenes at home, playing different characters for fun. Acting was something he enjoyed, even before it became part of his life professionally. His entry into television happened by chance. A children's talent scout named Lola Moore noticed him and believed he had potential. This came as a surprise to Rusty's parents, who had never planned for their son to work in entertainment. Rusty had never been part of school plays or church performances, which made his sudden move into acting even more unexpected. In 1957, his mother spoke to the Valley Times newspaper about his new opportunity. That paper was the same one Rusty had been selling for nearly a year. She shared that studio representatives believed he was something special, a moment that reflected the family's surprise and pride. Rusty made his television debut on Leave It to Beaver, where his role as Larry Mandel quickly gained attention. Viewers responded to him right away, and his natural presence on screen made him popular with both kids and adults. From his early days in Boston, he had stepped into a world few could have predicted, becoming part of TV history through that role. His acting work did not stop there. According to his IMDb credits, Rusty appeared in several other television shows, including My Three Sons, Perry Mason, and National Velvet. These roles showed that he could handle different types of characters and settings. Even with these opportunities, Rusty chose a path unlike many child actors. He walked away from Leave It to Beaver and gradually stepped back from acting altogether. This choice puzzled both fans and people in the industry. After leaving the show, his TV appearances became rare. His final known role during that period was on The Rifleman in 1963. After that, he faded from public view, and his acting career quietly came to an end. Still, one person never forgot him. Jerry Mathers, who played Beaver and worked closely with Rusty on the show, stayed determined to find his old friend. Despite the difficulty and years of searching, Jerry continued trying to reconnect, holding on to the bond they had formed as young co-stars. In a 1982 interview with the Pantagraph, Jerry Mathers shared his disappointment about losing contact with Rusty Stevens. "Nobody could find him for the longest time," he said. "Everyone lost track of him." Even with those setbacks, Jerry refused to give up. He made it his personal mission to find Rusty, following every possible lead and refusing to stop until he succeeded. After a long and difficult search, Jerry finally got the reunion he had been hoping for. Rusty was found living in New Jersey, where he had started a new life working as a car insurance salesman. Jerry's determination paid off when he convinced Rusty to take part in the 1983 Leave It to Beaver reunion movie. For Rusty, it was a major moment, bringing him back to Mayfield alongside his longtime friend and former castmates. The reunion was a happy moment for fans, who were excited to see Larry Mandel return to the screen. After appearing in the reunion film, Rusty Stevens stepped back into television, making 3 guest appearances on episodes of the new Leave It to Beaver. In many ways, this return echoed how his acting career first began on the original series. From that point forward, Rusty and Jerry reconnected and stayed close. It's fair to say that Leave It to Beaver remained a meaningful part of Rusty Stevens' life and career. One writer later reflected on the show by noting that Leave It to Beaver was a one-of-a-kind television series that left a lasting impression on American culture. During its original run, the show struggled at times and never reached the Nielsen ratings top 30. Its real impact became clear years later through reruns. Airing originally from 1957 to 1963, the series came to represent a nostalgic picture of mid-century America, giving viewers a look at what many remembered as a calmer and more hopeful time. At the heart of the show was the Cleaver family, parents Ward and June, and their sons Theodore, Beaver, and Wally. Alongside them was Larry Mandel, a chubby and unforgettable character who stood out among the neighborhood kids. Their lives reflected a typical middle-class household, complete with a neat home and a white picket fence. One of the show's defining traits was its ability to wrap up every problem within a single half-hour episode, leaving viewers with a sense of comfort and reassurance. As reruns continued year after year, the show came to represent the values and beliefs of the late 1950s and early 1960s. For many viewers, it became a shared memory of what they felt were simpler days, offering an image of an America that seemed less complicated than the one they were living in. Like the time period it portrayed, Leave It to Beaver eventually reached its conclusion after 6 successful seasons. Although the episodes continued to air for decades and found audiences across the world, the actors who played these beloved characters moved on and began new phases of their lives. One unusual detail sets Leave It to Beaver apart. During that era, television censors strongly objected to showing toilets on screen. This odd rule had real consequences and even affected the production of the series. The very first episode of Leave It to Beaver was delayed because it included a bathroom scene involving a toilet. The issue came from the Cleaver household bathroom, where the toilet was central to the story. The episode, later known as the Captain Jack episode, went on to become one of the show's most remembered moments because it featured a toilet tank and a surprising guest inside it, a baby alligator. In the episode, Wally and Beaver order the reptile from a comic book ad and secretly keep it in the toilet tank, using it as a makeshift aquarium to hide it from their parents, Ward and June. As the alligator grew larger, the boys had no choice but to move it to a tub in the basement. That's where things escalated. Ward eventually discovered the alligator, and in an unexpected turn, the small reptile bit his hand. Including a toilet tank and an alligator in the storyline was a bold choice that went against the strict rules of television at the time. The episode became a standout in the series, showing how writers and producers found clever ways to work around censorship while still creating fun and memorable stories. Looking back, these strange restrictions and the creative methods used to deal with them offer a revealing look into the television world of the 1950s and the obstacles creators faced during that period. The episode with the baby alligator in the toilet tank remains a clear example of the creativity and problem-solving skills used by the entertainment industry during those early television years. With its wide appeal and lasting popularity, Leave It to Beaver also became a major force in merchandising. Viewers connected deeply with the Cleaver family and their everyday adventures, and that connection quickly turned into strong profits for the network. To take advantage of this success, the network approved a wide range of products featuring the show's young star, Jerry Mathers. Board games, coloring books, and many other items carrying Beaver Cleaver's image appeared everywhere. It reflected how deeply the show had connected with its audience. What made this merchandising wave especially important was that Jerry Mathers became the first child actor to receive a portion of the profits from these products. This decision recognized his role in the show's success and helped open the door for future child actors to be fairly acknowledged for their contributions. What may surprise many people is that Leave It to Beaver still brings in money for Jerry Mathers, even today. New merchandise continues to be produced for longtime fans of the show, keeping its name alive decades later. This lasting success shows not only how much people still enjoy the series, but also how well it was handled from a business point of view. Along with the many products featuring Jerry Mathers, Leave It to Beaver also made its way into children's books. The show inspired a short but successful book series that first appeared in 1960. These books introduced young readers to a children's writer who was quickly gaining attention across the country. That writer was Beverly Cleary. She later became widely known for her children's novels, but at the time, she was still building her career. She wrote the 3 Leave It to Beaver books, which included Leave It to Beaver, Beaver and Wally, and Here's Beaver. This project came about 10 years after she released her first book, Henry Huggins. Before Cleary became best known for her Ramona Quimby books, she spent time writing stories based on Beaver Cleaver and his older brother, Wally. Her Leave It to Beaver books followed the same structure as the TV show. They were made up of short stories, many of which were based on episodes that had already aired. Cleary's work on these books added another dimension to the show's reach and showed that she could work across different formats. She stayed true to the characters and their everyday situations, which made the books enjoyable for young readers. This helped bring the world of Leave It to Beaver from television into print in a way that felt natural. Through these books, fans were able to spend more time with the Cleaver family and follow their everyday experiences beyond the screen. It gave the show a longer life and helped keep it familiar for new generations. What are your thoughts on how the character Larry Mandel was handled in the movie Leave It to Beaver? And what do you think about Rusty Stevens and his difficult life after the film ended? Let us know in the comments below. We hope you found this video helpful. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.